Another big news about Kwasa Damansara Petaling Jaya, LBS Bina managed to secure the development right of 192 acres of prime land located in the PJ west of Kwasa Damansara. So this is getting more and more interesting, and today we'll be going through all the information piece by piece. So for those who are new to Kwasa Damansara master plan, feel free to watch back my previous video, which we have done a quite comprehensive overview about the township master plan, some of the existing and ongoing projects, and of course some of the upcoming developers in this area. So in our previous video, we mentioned that there was one developer managed to secure 441 acres of prime land in the PJ east of Kwasa Damansara, and the name of the developer has yet to be disclosed, but it seems like some of you may have already known which developer is it. I can see some of you are commenting below my video, and followed by Impiana, who secured 47 acres of land in the PJ, planning to build landed villas and high-end condominium. So this round we are adding another big puzzle to the bigger master plan and a bigger picture, which is LBS Bina, who managed to secure the development right of 192 acres located in the PJ west of Kwasa Damansara. So now we are seeing more and more clearly about who are the big players in the PJ side of Kwasa Damansara, which are PJ East, PJ West, and in the middle, which is Impiana. A lot of people also asking, for this PJ side of Kwasa Damansara, is it going to be a freehold or leasehold? Given the fact that in Shah is a mixture of freehold and leasehold. For example, Daya and Linari are freehold, and the Dedaun Rimba and the Tujuh residences are leasehold. And when it comes to PJ, if you look at some of the immediate surroundings such as Bandar Utama and Ara Damansara, you can find a lot of freehold properties. But when it comes to Kota Damansara or Tropicana, they are mostly leasehold. So for this round for the PJ West by LBS Bina, according to Busa announcement, total there will be 11 parcels of land, so total 192 acres. All of the 11 parcels will be freehold. Wow, I think reading at this, I'm so getting very excited. So let's look at the location. Basically, it is adjacent to Ara Damansara and Kota Damansara, and it is very near to the Subang airport. Basically, it's just next to it. Very interesting because if you look at the surroundings of Subang airport, there are many golf courses, easily 4 to 5 of them, like Saujana, there's Glen Mary, Swiss Selangor Golf Club, Tropicana Golf and Country Resorts, and many more. So obviously for this PJ West, it is not going to be another golf club. The developer is going to build residential units. So according to the Busa statement, it is proposed to build 2,922 units of residence. It's going to be a mixture of landed homes, low and mid-rise condominium. So basically it's very low density. So if you take the total 2009 units of residence spread evenly across the 192 acres of township, I think you only have 15 units per acre. And of course, this is just a rough calculation. We have to set aside certain provision for the road, for the public amenities, but you get what I mean. Because very often we see in the city center, I think easily 1 or 2 condos, the total number of units already exceeds thousands of units. And for the public transport, I would say the nearby MRT will be nearby the Thomson Hospital, which is MRT line 1, the Kajang line. From how I see from the map, it is not exactly within walking distance. So let's continue to observe in the future whether there will be any shuttle bus or shuttle van provided by the township developer or even by the local authority as well. Now let's take a look at the land profile of PJ West. From this map, you can observe about the terrain of this area, and the green color means it's a flatter land, and the darker the color, the higher the terrain. Of course, the brown color indicates it's a hill area. So from this map, we can observe for PJ West, right in the middle, there's this hill area. Of course, the surroundings are more gentle slope. Then this is very different with what we see in the PJ East, because in PJ East, these are mostly covered by a green color, meaning it's a more gentle slopes. Most of them are ranging 20 plus to 40 meters above the sea level. For the hill area in PJ West, if you refer back to MBPJ master plan, most likely it is going to be reserved as a community forest. I think it's a very good idea because every township or every neighborhood you need a green lung and a forest area for the fresh air. And it is also mentioned in the previous news article by the Kwasa Land Managing Director Dato Adnan about there's the highest point in PJ West. It is the Bukit Nibong Gila. So it is going to be a community forest. So I really look forward to the upcoming master plan by LBS Bina on how are they going to create a harmony living environment between the nature and also the residents. Some of the good example we can see is like in TDDI we have this beautiful Bukit Kiara, or even in Petaling Jaya we have this Bukit Gasing, so that the residents they can always go for jogging, exercise, or even jungle trekking. So more important questions a lot of people want to ask here would be, when are these projects in PJ West going to launch, and what will be likely about the prices? Referring to the Bursa statement, the total consideration value that LBS Bina have to pay to Kwasa Land will be 1.2 billion ringgit for the 11 parcels of freehold land. That is almost equivalent to 145 ringgit per square foot. So the first payment is upon the execution of a development right agreement. So the remaining 9 payments basically is starting from year 2026 all the way to year 2034. Basically each year you have one payment to make, ranging from 74 million all the way to 200 million every year. It is also very interesting to observe the terms and conditions. So over here it is stated that the developer can only carry out the construction work and sales activity after they have made the full payment. That means the first payment is July 2026. So only after that they can start working on it. So in this Bursa statement, it is stated that the development is expected to commence in the year 2027, always subject to the approval and of course obtaining the necessary license as well. So I think from here it's easier for you to plan for yourself if you are currently eyeing on this PJ West of Kwasa Damansara. Let's say if they can only launch or commence the work from 2027, that means I think the earliest batch of completion projects will be anything from year 2030 onwards. So you have to ask yourself, are you urgently need a place to move in, or you already have a nice place just currently exploring around for upgrade to a bigger house, no hurry, then you can, it's really interesting option to look at it. Basically, the entire township is expected to complete in 14 years of a time frame. As for what will be the size and price of all these projects, I think at this point we don't have any information yet because it's still very early. They just acquired the development rights and always subject to approval and some terms and conditions as well. So I read through the Bursa statement, and so this sentence is say in anticipation of the growing market demand of high-end quality residential properties. So the high-end words really caught my attention, and does it mean high-end at high price? I'm not too sure. And if you look at the estimated GDP for the entire PJ West, it is around 8.3 billion. And if you divide by the total proposed units in the township, which is 2,922 units, so on average each unit could have been priced around 2.84 million ringgit. And of course, this is just a rough calculation, and the actual selling price we will have to wait until the official launch. And there could have been many different variations in terms of product offerings. For example, out of the 10 units, what if the developer launched a bungalow, semi-D, superlink, and condominiums? So it doesn't mean all property here will be priced at 2.84 million. And as for whether the developer will roll out the landed project first or the condo project first, we also don't know. But just guessing, I think it makes more financial sense for the developer to roll out the landed first, since they will have to invest a lot of upfront cash in terms of infrastructure and also the development right, the land cost and all this. And launching the landed first because the sales cycle, the construction period is shorter, so it enables the developer to recoup their invested capital and of course with some profit faster, so that they have more resource to roll out the phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. But of course all these are just my personal opinion. It depends on different developers' strategy and also different consideration as well. Who knows, the developer might take another totally opposite strategy of launching the condominium first, because the entry price is definitely lower compared to landed, so that they can achieve the sales target faster. But that also depends on the market demand as well. What do you think? Feel free to comment below. So if we look at the 145 ringgit per square foot for the land cost or development right for the PJ West area, I think that is almost similar range if we compare to some of the projects or developers in Shah part of Kwasa Damansara. I think most of them are also ranging 140 to 170 plus per square foot, such as TSR, we see the Gadang, we also see the Seri Impian. So on top of the consideration value, of course, some of the developer might be also committing certain percentage of the GDV of their projects together with the master developer. Let's also take this opportunity to quickly browse through the take-up rate for the ongoing projects in Shah part of Kwasa Damansara for the landed houses. Obviously, the most popular one will be the Dedaun Rimba by YTL. Demand is more than the supply itself, and from time to time we can also see they might have Bumi release unit, but usually it's taken up very quickly. So for the Dedaun Rimba, because the price townhouse is 800,000 plus minus, I believe the 3-story terrace is anything around 1.5 million plus minus. So within 1 to 1.5 million price range, I believe it is still within the reach of many middle class or upper middle class families in Klang Valley. So if LBS they launch something within 1 to 1.5 million ringgit as their first launch, I think definitely a lot of people are very interested. The next one, we look at Linari. They have this park homes concept, or we call it townhouses within the condo compound. So the build-up is around 3,000 square feet with the price around 2 million ringgit plus minus. And of course, it is also come with an added convenience, which is next to the MRT station. So today it has achieved more than 50% of take-up rate. And lastly, we look at the Daya residence. It offers a bigger size and a higher price range. It's a freehold semi-D 2.6 to 3.3 million. And it has also achieved a healthy more than 50% of take-up rate as well. Overall, in the coming years, I'm very excited about both Shah and also PJ side of Kwasa Damansara. So I believe in the coming next few years, interesting to observe whether will there be a certain period where PJ East, PJ West, and right in the middle for the Impiana also having ongoing launches for all three areas concurrently. And let's continue to observe. And not to forget, the Shah part of Kwasa Damansara is also very good and interesting, given that all the infrastructure is already well built together with the connectivity of the 2 MRT stations here. So I can see more clarity over here, and all the amenities such as the public park, the EPF HQ building is already here, and there are a few residential projects is already ongoing. Alright, so today I think there are more than 11 developers joining this Kwasa Damansara master plans. So if we list out the names of the developers according to the land size or development right they secured, you can see some of the big players include PJ East, followed by PJ West by LBS Bina, Kwasa Damansara City Center by MRCB and EPF. We have Nadi Cegas for the affordable housing, and many more such as Gadang, Asim, YTL, Sansuria, TSR, PPB, and many more. Alright, so that's all for today's sharing. My name is Wen Xiang, and see you in the next video.